Bright QT. Every student matters.
Hi students, welcome to this session. In this session, we are going to talk about the different parts of the plants. One of the important parts that we are going to discuss is stem. So now let's understand what is a stem and what are its different parts and why is it important. In the previous session, we've studied about the 4 different parts and 4 important parts of the plant, that is stem, root, leaves and flower and fruit. So these are the 5 different important parts of the plant. Now first we are going to discuss about stem. Now what exactly is a stem? You must have seen different in the previous activities. We saw different plants and we observed the stem of different plants. Now when you were observing, what did you see? What all things did the stem bear? You will see that the stem bears the leaf, right? It bears the branches, right? It bears buds, flowers and fruits. All of these are bared by the stem, right? The stem is a part of the plant which keeps it upright. It bears all the different parts of the plant. And is a very important part which supports the growth of the plant, right? Now, when we talk about stem, there are basically a few important parts that you need to remember. First of all, we have the nodes, right? These nodes are the ones which are very important in the case of branching, right? So these nodes are the ones from where the branch will arise, right? And the space between 2 nodes is called as the internode, right? So this is the space between 2 nodes which is known as the internode. Now, the branching that we are seeing is at the node and this is called as the axillary bud, right? So this axillary bud, you're going to study a little more about this axillary bud in the coming classes and the sessions. And axillary bud is basically the bud which helps in branching, right? Then you have your apical bud which is present on the uppermost part of the stem. Now over here you can observe that how many ways, in what ways do the stem help in the branching of the plant and in the growth, right? So we know any growth which takes place in a plant is towards the vertical side, that is the height of the plant grows, and it's towards the horizontal side, that means the sides of the plant grows by the help of branching, right? And over here you can see that how the stem helps in the growth of the plant, right? So first of all, the very first thing which you can understand about the stem is that it bears leaf, branches, buds, flowers and fruits. So all the parts that we are observing in a plant, right, all these parts are bared by the stem. Before we move on, let's do an activity, and this activity will help us in understanding the function. This is one of the major functions that is performed by the stem. So let's move on and do this activity. It's a very simple and very fun activity. You'll really enjoy this, right? So first of all, what we have to do is we have to get a glass, right? Let's just write down our requirements. We need glass, right? We need water. We need either red or blue ink, right? And we need a soft stem. Soft stem means that we need the stem of a herb, right? So you can take a herb whose stem is tender and is green. So you take that stem. Why we are taking soft stem? So that it's easy for us to cut it and it's easy for us to observe the changes, right? So what you are going to do is you are going to take a soft stem. Now what you're going to do is that add a few drops of red or blue ink into the water, and in this way just take the stem and cut it and put the stem in the red or blue colored water and leave it for overnight. Now when you leave it for overnight, what you're going to observe is that there are certain colored, as you can see, this is a certain, the color of that particular ink has risen up towards the leaves, right? And you will see that this is the observation, students, that the color has gone up the stem, right? And it has reached the leaves like this, right? And you will see that how the leaves are actually showing this red or blue color, whichever color you are choosing, right? Now, if you are keeping this particular setup for a very long time, what you will observe is that the color will be seen in the veins. These are the veins. We are going to study about this also in detail. But for now, it's important to understand that this color will be reflected in the parts of the plants. Now, you might wonder that how does this happen? So, from this activity, students, we are able to understand that stem plays a very important role in the transportation of materials, right? Now, to make this activity a little more interesting, let's do one more thing. Take these kinds of white flowers, right? These flowers were actually, students, originally white in color. They were kept in, one of the flowers was kept in red color and the other was kept in blue color. And the same kind of flowers actually developed. One was a reddish colored flower and other developed into blue color flower. So this shows that stem is transporting the substances. So what it does is stem transports substances, right? So what are these substances? These are water and mineral, right? And where does it come from? As you can see that the movement is from downwards towards upward, right? So it goes from down side, that is the part which we have cut, from that area it goes up. Now, if you understand, we've studied about the part of the plant and we saw that root was under the soil. So suppose this is the ground part and over here we have the root and then we have the stem. And we've studied that root picks up the water, right? We know that roots absorb the water. And in this way, what it does, it allows the movement from this water is taken up by the stem, it is transported by the stem and it goes to all the parts of the plant, right? So in this way, stem helps in transportation of water and minerals that are absorbed by the roots, right? Right, students? So in this way, we see that how stem plays a very important role and it is a very, very important part of the plant. It has various functions, right? So let's just enumerate these functions. First of all, the stem carries water and mineral salts from the roots to the leaves and flowers, right? So to the different parts of the plant, it takes up, it helps in the transportation of your water and minerals. It keeps the plant upright, that means it helps in supporting the plant. We've seen that stem is the one through which we were able to distinguish different plants and we saw that whether or not the plant was able to stand, right? If not, the stem was very weak. We saw that we got the plants like creeper and climbers where the stem was not able to support, right? So in this way, we see that stem has a very important role in keeping the plant upright and supporting. The stem bears leaves, flowers and fruits. So these are the different parts of the stem so these are the different parts of the plants which are seen on the stem, right? So stem supports and bears all these things. Then it carries the food manufactured in the leaves to the roots and other parts of the plant body, right? So from root it takes the water and mineral to the leaves. And from the leaves, stem allows the movement of food to all the different parts of the body of the plant. Apart from that, when the stem is green, right, when the plant is young and the stem is green, it carries photosynthesis. So we have seen that how photosynthesis is associated with the green color, that is chlorophyll, right? So we already know that because of this green color, photosynthesis occurs in the leaves. And similarly, this occurs in the young stems as well, right? So these are the different functions of a stem.